Hi, good morning, everybody. Happy Money Monday. It's Kathy Colley, money and business coach, helping heart-centered entrepreneurs build wealth so you can change the world. Yes. So I want to talk today about how to activate the power of giving and generosity to help you focus on your purpose and help you actually make more money. A few weeks ago, I talked about how building wealth enables us to get into that position where we can give. Well, I'm talking today about how giving actually helps us build more wealth. So it's a two-part kind of process. When I first started the practice of tithing 14 years ago, I thought that giving was a personal loss. I thought that if I gave money away, somehow it diminished me, somehow it made me less. I had a real poverty consciousness around giving. But once I started giving as a regular financial and spiritual practice, and I actually put tithing as a line item in my budget, I found all kinds of financial miracles started to open up for me. I started having a lot more regular income. I started expanding my income exponentially, and I went from a certain level of income to 10 times that. And I also felt more at ease and comfortable with money. So you might be wondering, what is tithing? If you are a religious person and you attend a church or synagogue, you probably already know what tithing is. But tithing is more than just a religious practice. Tithing has been a spiritual practice for thousands and thousands of years among many different religious traditions. So it actually originated with the Babylonians over 5,000 years ago. Then it was picked up by the Jews. Then it was picked up by the Christians. And now it's accessible to anyone at all. In fact, it's best if it's not locked into a church, because that actually can diminish the authenticity of the gift. So that's because tithing is a practice of giving 10% of your take-home pay to the places where you are spiritually inspired and fed. And so that may be primarily your church or synagogue or spiritual center. But maybe, like most of us, you find your spiritual inspiration in a lot of places. I myself give to 3 or 4 different places every month that are my sources of spiritual inspiration. And they're places that help me to continue to grow and help me on my path. So 10% given to where you're spiritually fed. And that can include also charities. Traditionally, when tithing began among the Babylonians and the Jews, the 10% was given to the temple, and that was used both to feed the priests and the spiritual leaders, and it was used also to feed the poor. So in today's modern culture, a lot of spiritual centers and churches have gotten separated from charities. So you may find with your tithing that you want to give to where you're spiritually inspired and to some places of charitable work. And that's what my husband and I do. We give to all of those. Actually, if you count all the charities we give to probably 7 or 8 places every month. Both spiritual and charitable. So the magic of tithing is that when you give 10%, you have 90% left of your net income. And honestly, if you can't live on 90%, you're not a very good money manager. With conscious budgeting that I teach, most people are able to live very happily on 90%. But the magic of tithing is that miracles start coming your way. When you're truly giving to where you're truly inspired, as a freely given gift, no expectation of return from that particular source, the universe starts sending you blessings. I'll tell you a story. When I was first running my tantric dance business 10 years ago, I had a week where I had about $3,000 in business expenses piling up, and I was starting to feel really stressed. Didn't know how I was going to pay for those, was starting to feel very tight and constricted. You know, that feeling of stress where you just really tighten up, and maybe you breathe even more shallowly, like there's that fight or flight response in the body. And then I remembered, oh my gosh, I haven't tithed yet for the month. And so I looked at my income, and what I had brought in was not very much. I think I brought in maybe $100 or something like that. So I just, in a leap of faith, just wrote the tithe check for $10. You know, it's not a huge amount, right? But it's a gift of gratitude. I sent it off to the place where I felt most inspired to give it. And the next day I had a $3,000 day in my business. And you might wonder, oh, is that a coincidence? That seems weird. Well, I attribute it to the way it made my body and my being shift once I gave that gift. Because once I gave the tithe check and mailed it off, I had a shift in the way I felt. I felt ease, I felt relaxation, I felt trust, and I felt deserving of good. Before that, I was really fearful that any income would come in, and that fear was preventing me from making more money. So that relaxation I felt really opened things up so that I was able to receive that blessing and do the work required to talk with people. I was actually having some enrollment calls with some potential clients, and I was really relaxed about it and just non-attached. You know, if they wanted to sign up, if it was good for them, I was open to that. But I wasn't tense, wasn't grasping or desperate. I was just relaxed. And so I believe that sense of relaxation is what brought the income in. So yes, tithing and giving is an amazing spiritual practice, and you can start it now. You don't have to wait until you have $1 million net worth and you're funding a huge foundation and you're sponsoring single mothers to go to college. You know, all these big things you may want to do down the line. That's good. That's good that, you know, you can see down the line what you might want to give as you become wealthier. But you can actually start now, and you can activate the power of giving now by giving 10% of your income to where you are inspired and to places that are doing good charitable work that you support. So I invite you to, you know, comment below, you know, do you have a tithing practice? Do you have a giving practice? Do you want to start one? What are your thoughts about this? And if 10% seems a little high, try 5%. But again, most people can live on 90% of their income once they start conscious budgeting. So have fun giving and allowing that to open you up to the field of infinite possibilities, as well as being a good person. All right, take care. Happy Money Monday, and see you next week. Bye now.